Welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals, home of Flub Nation. I'm your host, Lan, and with me, I've got three gentlemen that are here to spin this wheel with me again. It's another episode of the off-season. Keigen, Salt, Serg, how are y'all doing today? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm ready to do this.
All right. We are going to get the wheel spinning to see what we're talking about today. Let's go. The wheel is spinning. And remember, all four of us can see this, so there's no cheating. Oh, no shot. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness, that's
crazy. We were holding this one back for when Salt would be on the panel. And this wheel has, no joke, chosen the exact topic that we wanted Salt on for.
The wheel knows all.
The wheel knows all. Salt, what is the topic that we're talking about today?
Soundtracks.
Okay, soundtracks that make things worse or better. Salt, you put this in the backlog like several months ago. What spurred you to do this? Why did you come up with this topic?
It was really just the episodes where we had talked about movies. Like there's so much to talk about with a movie. I felt like there was rarely time to get into the instrumentals, what all the music was adding to it. So I thought this could be a fun way to like talk about some soundtracks that we thought really elevated a movie. I didn't have in mind any soundtracks that made a movie worse, but that is very funny. So if you have anything like that, please throw them out there.
I feel like the wording in the doc is worse.
Is it? What's the wording in the doc?
I need to find it.
Because, like, I'm trying to think of movies or, like, even just shows or games where the soundtrack makes it worse. Oh, you know what? It's usually just movies where they have, like, a really bad, not like an OST, but, like, they just choose songs.
Movies.
Yes. Yes. That's
what did you say, Keigen?
I mean,
James Gunn movies.
James Gunn movies.
Which is,
you know what? Yes.
Why it was in the list.
I mean, the early 2000s when you had like Nickelback and stuff on like random movies, like playing.
Okay, but listen, Hero for Spider-Man, you know, that was a really good choice. You know, when it ends on Hero, I think that really elevates the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie-going experience.
I mean, yeah, but that's not a random one, right? You were thinking of like other movies where it was probably added after the fact. I think that song was that song done for the movie?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Actually, hold on. Let me check. Did Sam Raimi and company commission Nickelback to make a song for them?
It was one of his stipulations to film it.
I'm not doing this movie until we get a Nickelback.
Get me Nickelback now.
No shot. It was written for the movie specifically. It literally says it was written by Kroger and recorded specifically for the film.
Wow.
Okay, sorry, Salt, what were you gonna say?
Oh, whoever mentioned James Gunn, like that is really fascinating. Like whatever James Gunn movie I watched most recently, like when those needle drops hit, they feel so perfunctory. I don't know. Someone help me out here. It is
so
beautifully
I watched,
twisted.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 a while back, and like it sucks because the songs on there are good. Like the songs themselves are great, but I think it works against the actual like emotional core of the songs where you know exactly why they're playing this. Like, oh, we're playing Mr. Bluesky because, well, you know what, Keigen? When Mr. Bluesky played in Yakuza, Like a Dragon, that I think would be a very good example of a soundtrack that made a scene worse.
Yeah.
So Salt, Serg, for context, the scene where it drops, the two male protagonists have been inducted into the Yakuza, and the two female protagonists have been inducted into cabaret work. So, like, it's not sex work, but it is, like, red light district work. So, like, they're basically doing indentured servitude, and all the while you've got Mr. Bluesky playing as though it's like, this is a great thing for these people. Like, this is a great moment in their lives.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack. Okay. So you got Wham Bam Shangalang, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, Fox on the Run, Lakeshore Drive, My Sweet Lord. Okay, when Father and Sons, when you have Cat Stevens playing at the very end, you didn't like... It feels like, you know when those like live tapings, you know like those live tapings of shows and you have like the sign that says applause?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, this is the moment where you have to cry. This is the moment where you have to clap.
That moment especially is like, it's stealing power from the song. You know, it's like robbing thematic oneness from the song. Because like, I don't know, I think that movie is, Chris Pratt is not a good enough leading man to do that movie. Like, I think I'm a Guardians 2 defender against the haters at least. But I think everything outside of him is why that movie works, right? And so it's like, that song is why those themes land at all in that movie, though.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of the inverse. It's like, it makes the movie work better, I think, but it's shoddy.
It saves it from being a worse movie.
It feels like a shortcut, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that way even about the first Guardians when he does Ain't No Mountain High or Low. And like, it just shows a montage of everyone celebrating and feeling good. And you're just like, it's a great song. So I think it gets away with it because you're like supposed to feel happy with the story ending. But it's also just like, it's just because it's such an infectious song that it almost like lifts up the whole movie ending.
Yeah.
On its
Yeah,
own.
you'll think that those are good scenes, and then you'll hear that song divorced from that context later, and you go, "Oh wait, no, this is just a really good song." Like Rubber Band Man, that he uses that in one of the Marvel movies. I was like, okay, I'm having fun. And I was like, no, wait, this movie sucks. Rubber Band Man's just a great song.
Yeah.
It tricks you into thinking that the movie's better than it actually is.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny because, like, you know, I have a couple Twitter people I know who I like, who like Deadpool and Wolverine came out, and they were like, yeah, the needle drops. Only James Gunn knows how to do it right, and I'm just like,
Return.
Amazing.
I can't do this right now.
I got another one that's semi-controversial, but I feel like it's merited. Tarantino's Django Unchained.
Okay.
The Rick Ross, though. The Rick Ross. Like, all the artists and everyone in there are like, you know, like, I don't have a problem with any of the songs and any of it existing. It's just like exactly
very bizarre for a movie that's also like trying to tackle like historic tragedies. And lest we forget, like, it was so bad, Ennio Morricone said Tarantino doesn't understand soundtracks. He would never want to work with him again. Even though he did work with him on the next movie, it was just like, you have like one of the greatest legends of film soundtracks saying, dude, you suck. You, man. Pardon. But yeah. Like,
the Rick Ross track, though, great for COD compilations. You know, headshot compilations to that track. Beautiful. Like, it's funny when a song is specifically made for a movie or made to coincide with the movie, but then it finds a new life outside of the movie. And it's even funnier when the movie it's from is not good.
Yeah.
Like, All Star is not a Shrek song. It's a song that was made for Mystery Men, but because it was taken from there and used in Shrek, it's now found a new life as the Shrek song rather than the Mystery Mystery Men song, right?
Wait.
Even though the music video features the cast of Mystery Men and scenes from Mystery Men,
I thought
it's no longer the Mystery Men song.
I thought that was the song for Eating Out too.
Yeah, that's
My
the third life. That's the third life. You know, like after Shrek. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But like, these are all commercial songs, right? Like pop songs, rock songs, folk songs.
Yeah.
That also happen to be in movies. Are there like OSTs that come to mind when thinking about like good soundtracks, bad soundtracks?
Oh, I have quite a few.
Salt,
Well,
go,
you go
for
first,
it.
Serge.
I was gonna say Babylon AD, where they had like Hans Zimmer and the RZA teaming up to do like classical rap metal type sounds, and it was written for the movie too, and like it wasn't like a smash hit or anything like that. So that movie was just bizarre in the sense that they did have like composers and Icelandic like writers trying to merge all these different styles. So of all the movies,
I've
right?
never
Babylon
heard of this
AD.
movie before.
Oh man, it's bizarre. It's a Vin Diesel science fiction film.
Yeah, it is Michelle
narrows-
Yeoh
Yeah.
and
Lando
Gerard
Wilson.
Depardieu. Let's go.
We might need to watch this for an episode. It's so weird. I got into it because I was really listening to a lot of Wu-Tang at the time. I saw this album come out. I'm like, oh, sick. And I put it on. I'm like, oh, I see. Yeah. Very bizarre, like, attempt at being an artsy soundtrack for a movie that does not deserve it, but also not really hitting the mark at all.
That's so wild. So one of the first soundtracks I wanted to mention was Prey.
Oh,
Okay.
Prey,
yeah.
that was that. I mean, bizarre movie for a lot of reasons. It could have been a really storied entry in the Predator franchise, and it just feels like Disney nuked it by fast tracking it to Hulu, and that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, the composer's name is Sarah Schachner, and what really elevated the film with that soundtrack was it had this intimacy. Like the film is quite small in scale, and I really liked that the soundtrack felt small in scale. There was like the sort of expected indigenous sounding instruments being used with more modern mixing techniques and modern instruments, but it felt small, and it felt very, very personal. There's a lot of like distortion and reverb. I think it really appropriately conjures the terror that is being experienced by being chased by the predator.
yeah. I think horror movies are great for this because, like, the whole point with the soundtrack is that it's supposed to add to the atmosphere, like the tension, the hits, right?
I mean, John Carpenter, like all his
Yeah.
films, like, the Halloween
Right.
theme's iconic and it's so simple, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, horror is an interesting thing too. Though, where it's like it has to find that fine line of not being paid attention to either. Because it's like if I start paying attention to the music, then I'm thinking about how music it's not like it's literally making the situation more scary than it.
Well,
would be.
it's like the James Gunn thing all over again, where it's like the music
Yeah,
is telling you how
exactly.
to feel about the
Yeah,
scene.
and so if I notice it, it's like
I mean-
not a good thing. I don't know.
I think
I
I experience it slightly differently, where it's like I'm not trying to feel distracted by it, but in the moment I'm like, oh, this is really cool, and then
Yeah.
I'll want to listen to it
Yeah.
later and enjoy it on its own merits, and that's kind of like ideally how it hits for me. That's
Yeah.
about as much
I mean-
attention I pay to it.
When it works, it does that, I think. When it doesn't work, you're just like, why is this here?
Yeah.
The other one I want to go the opposite direction, talk about that is like again, soundtracks in westerns, where like you know, like obviously all the spaghetti westerns, it's like it's impossible to think about those movies without the soundtracks, and they're just so heavily like lush and like these orchestral, you know, Ennio Morricone, right? And it's like, you know, like the movies will almost have nothing happening while this giant orchestral piece is playing, and it's incredible. It's hard to like really capture that. That's all vibes and feelings driven by the music, even though like the movie is super tense. It's just incredible that they work that way.
I think a recent movie for me where the soundtrack really hit for me on an emotional level was Monster, the Hirokazu Koreeda movie from last year. It might not be last year by the time this episode comes out, whatever. But it was the last soundtrack that Ryuichi Sakamoto worked on before he died. And it's just like a very beautiful, haunting soundtrack. I think it works on many different levels where it accentuates a lot of the moments, not even just the emotional moments, but like the more quieter moments of the movie.
Yeah.
But like again, the other aspect here is that like the thought that, you know, Sakamoto was in his waning days while making this, right? Like this is one of the last things he ever worked on. And so there is that like element of tragedy as well. Which it's weird. It's weird to say that it elevates the movie for me, but like it really does get me thinking about the movie on a much more holistic level than I probably would have otherwise.
Yeah. I think you know, you were mentioning that, and this is a much lesser level than that, but the Boy and the Heron,
Mm-hmm.
like the music on that is similar in that it's like this is homie's fourth last movie, you know, like and the whole movie is all about that like impossibility to move on. You know, and you could easily expand that to actual life, right? Like grappling with an end. And I think that is maybe the last movie I saw that I was like, damn, the music is like super impactful.
Keigen, really nice work staying on brand there. Really, really like the grappling. Thank you.
Yes.
Land.
Now I have got not to do grappling and whatever I say. Joe Hisaishi is great at this, you know, not just in his movies with Miyazaki, but also with Takeshi Kitano, because he's a pretty freaking collaborator with Kitano. And like I'm thinking about movies like Hanabi, right, where so much of it is very, very quiet aside from the soundtrack. So like the movie forces you to listen to the soundtrack while you're going through a lot of the like almost quirky quieter moments of it. But like yeah, like it's incredible when there is that sort of symbiosis between the director and the composer. Like we talk about it in comics all the time, but like sometimes if a director and a composer are really in their bag, you can really, really feel it.
Speaking of Hisaishi, a few months ago, I was fortunate enough to see a performance of the Howl's Moving Castle soundtrack, and this was done by a strings trio. I think it was like a violin, a bass, and a piano, if I'm not mistaken. And it was in a church, so the acoustics were perfect. And to sit there and to just watch the performers play this soundtrack was such a special experience. You know, I've seen live music plenty of times, but to watch a soundtrack specifically that I'm so used to associating with a visual I've like already established, right? Like the performers made this really good point that made me appreciate all of it in full. It's like everyone knows merry-go-round in life, but they were pointing out all these quieter moments that like hit in like a much more subtle way, and to be able to see that in such an intimate setting made me realize like how terrific that entire soundtrack really is.
Yeah.
Serg, you can say something?
Yeah, I think one that feels obvious, but I think it's kind of not when you think about what it's doing, is obviously like Cowboy Bebop, right? Like it's impossible to not think about the music when you talk about that one. It's funny because the live action really got it wrong. But what I think is really interesting about it, right, is like obviously everyone knows the iconic theme song, but then, you know, each episode has like its own different soundtrack and own different genre. But like a lot of times the music's like not really going like perfectly seamlessly with what's going on screen, almost in some ways. Like it's like I mean it is in some ways, but it isn't in other ways. Like, you know, like the genre is kind of like let they don't have a problem with it clashing in some ways. They don't try to like soften a metal sound or like the country music or like you know, when it's jazz, it's not like they're trying to sync it really with the sound necessarily, but it just kind of lets you feel like more organic in the feel of how it works. And I think it's, you know, like I said, like Cowboy Bebop obviously seems like a very obvious answer, but I think sometimes when you look at like what the music's actually doing, it's like, yeah, it's actually like really surprising in how like, again, it like seamlessly works with the idea of like the themes of the show, right? With them exploring freedom and them kind of like unable to escape different things or isolation, you know? So I don't know. I thought that's one I think that's worth mentioning. Can I do a second one or should I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I think it'd be impossible to not mention this one, but obviously Fury Road, Mad Max. is another example of like, I think it's kind of like one of the perfect soundtracks. It's insane, frenetic. Everyone has their own like little like melody and tunes that come in. It's almost like Peter and the Wolf in a way, like demented sci-fi Peter and the Wolf. In the sense that like, you know, everyone kind of has these sounds that kind of play as they kind of do different things in it. The music never leaves you guessing what you're supposed to be feeling or how you're supposed to be going or what's coming. You know, it just doesn't stop, right? It just keeps escalating itself and getting frenetic, and like, you know, it's amazing how it just matches the vibe of this movie. And really, it's like, I think the movie and the soundtrack work separately. Like, you could watch almost Mad Max as a silent film and it would still be like a blast to watch. You could listen to the soundtrack. Maybe you'd go insane, but you could still listen to it. But yeah, so like those are the two I think of right now when I think of like amazing soundtracks that work for different reasons almost.
You mentioned something interesting there with each character having their own theme, and like leitmotifs are also a huge thing where,
yeah,
you know, there's that one meme where it's like, "What's wrong, buddy? It's the leitmotif. Your leitmotif just played in a minor tone."
That's pretty good.
So good.
That's super good.
But you know, like leitmotifs really help add that sort of association in your brain with with not only a movie but like a specific character. You know, like there's always the famous ones. You know, James Bond. You know what the twang is. Batman. Yeah, X-Men. It was funny though for X-Men in Doctor Strange 2 when Professor Xavier showed up and they played the leitmotif was
series,
the X-Men,
right?
the animated series. Yeah.
That was
It's like that's two totally different things.
Two totally different things.
I think you said this at the start of the episode, Lan, but that was the glowing red neon please clap now. That was just awful.
I mean, like, it's so like crass and like how it's like trying to be clever about it. And it's like, I mean, this is kind of like the funny thing about it, right? You can do these when you do these things well and like cleverly, it's like amazing. When you don't do it well, you're just like, what the hell? Why?
Speaking of not doing things cleverly, I wanted to give a different kind of example where you use a good song, but you misapply it, and I don't just mean like James Gunn getting like the tone wrong or whatever. I mean like full on editing. I think this is something you'll see in CW shows a lot. They'll take a song and it'll come on in a scene and you'll go like, okay, this song is really sick. And then they edit it and they chop it down so much that it becomes almost unrecognizable. Like that's a really bizarre choice you see sometimes in soundtracks.
Yeah, or they'll interpolate one theme and like turn it into a completely different song. But on that note though, we should talk about like anachronistic soundtracks. And like the first thing that comes to mind is Baz Luhrmann. But I think a more recent example, and one that actually didn't even make it into the movie, was the trailer for Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
You know,
Amazing.
I think I might have had a better time with Gladiator 2 had No Churches in the Wild been in it. Like, actually.
Yeah. I agree. It should have been.
It really should have been. I think it's a very difficult thing to accomplish. You know, like doing we're doing a period piece, but there's a rap song in the track or in the soundtrack. You know, like it's very difficult to do that well. Like Elvis. Have you guys seen Elvis? The Baz Luhrmann movie?
I turned it on. And,
you turned it on?
It finished.
I turned it on.
You know,
it was a
on.
movie. It was a movie, right?
I did some chores during it though, you know, like I was like, all right. It didn't capture me.
Okay. Because I was thinking about the usage of Britney Spears' Toxic and like interpolating it with Elvis's music during that movie. And usually in Romeo and Juliet, I liked it. You know, when there was that like flip on the music there, but like I don't know, there was just something about it, the way it worked in Elvis that didn't work for me.
Yeah, I think Luhrmann maybe is Like,
washed, cooked.
no, Gatsby just kind of like people's reaction to it, I think pissed him off probably, and it's like, all right, now I gotta double down on all this stuff. I think is what happened. So, because like Gatsby, I think Gatsby, all of it makes sense, but it's like not a very good movie. It's not the music's fault.
It's that's
the other thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
if the movie sucks, there's only so much you can do. Like A Knight's Tale. You guys remember that one?
A Knight's Tale, the
With
Hell
Heath Ledger.
movie? Yeah.
Where it's like they're playing like "We Will Rock You" and like
Bachman
Turner Overdrive and like
yeah.
Oh,
are there any other movies where like the soundtrack is not, or any other period pieces where that happens that it works in?
It works. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Django Unchained earlier, right? With
I mean, this is gonna be funny to say, but I feel like Bridgerton plays with this a lot, and I think it kind of works for what they're doing and who their audience is. Like,
what a pull!
I don't think it's like amazing, but it's like, like I said, like because of what they're doing and because they know their audience, they're just like, all right, I can't hate on that.
Yeah. No. I think that's a good point. Like, I mean, I think for Bridgerton, that for like the music serves as something that people who find Bridgerton annoying and people who like Bridgerton can both like, because like I think the instrumental, the anachronistic instrumentals of pop songs is like, they're earworms. Almost all of them are, and it's like, okay, that's cool, and like it also lends to the like fantasy of the thing too, right? Where it's like, this isn't historical in any way. Like, none of this. You really can't bring like a real like societal viewpoint to Bridgerton at all. Like, it's a romance story. That's all it is. And like, I think that lends to it. These dreamy, orchestral versions of pop songs.
I think it's also because it's like a very deliberate choice, and it might be a little cynical in some ways, but like it's less cynical than like the early 90s or the 90s where you'd have like ill-fitting singles just hammed into like movies, like Kiss from a Rose and Batman, like like Wild Wild West, or like like some of these ones where you're just like, all right, like I guess you're gonna work this in, so I guess in that sense is like it's a little more deliberate and a little less cynical than it could have been. So yeah,
I'm more inclined to historically accurate sounding soundtracks. Like, I really like when these composers can do the research and like work with people who can play rare instruments and such. Like, I really love that kind of thing. But it can work. I mean, it was a little disorienting in Shogun when they played "I'm Turning Japanese" by the Vapors. But I got into it.
I mean, I felt like I was turning Japanese.
Yeah. By the end of it, I really felt like I could wear a kimono and say
and bathe more than once a week.
Shogun inspired me to bathe more than once a week.
I feel like it should have been one of us white guys who said that.
Yeah. It's okay. We can edit it. So say it now, and then we'll edit it so that you're saying it.
Shogun made me feel like I should shower more than one time a week.
There we go. Perfect.
I really wanted to stand out.
Yeah, like when we were saying it, we were all saying it kind of all at once, but now you saying it just completely clear.
Yeah.
I have another soundtrack that I don't like, a soundtrack type I don't think we've brought up yet, which is that a soundtrack that's so good that it completely clears the movie. And my first candidate I would suggest is Tron 2. I heard that soundtrack way before I watched the movie. I got hyped to watch the movie, and I just kind of dissociated on my couch until I had to turn it off. I was just wondering, what am I doing here? I didn't even finish that movie, but I still love that soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. Fantastic soundtrack. I mean,
Most of
it kind
Snyder's
of,
movies probably it's true of, right? I mean,
yeah.
not that I would listen to any of those on their own, but like the Man of Steel's theme is cool. I don't like that movie, but
I think it's the James Gunn thing over again, though, like where it's like, oh yeah,
yeah.
all these songs are great on their own, but you know, it's the fact that they're paired with this movie that kind of
Mhm.
dulls things, maybe. I'm trying to think of other soundtracks that clear the movie, like are
You mentioned Kiss from a Rose, and then I immediately went to the other Batman guy and Prince. Like, you know,
mm,
Purple Rain's the
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing.
While we're on ill-fitting songs for Batman, the using Something in the Way from Nirvana. That was
I
a
like how
choice.
I like how it's gotten to the point where it's become a meme. Right? Like it's no longer a serious choice. Like every time someone
It was never a
memes on
serious choice.
well, right, like, but like intent, like the intent of it, right? Where it's like Matt Reeves, is like, I'm making a serious Batman movie. You know, this Batman is grunge. He listens to Nirvana, and now it's like guys on TikTok making like Batman gooner memes, but with Something in the Way playing in the background.
You know
I
what,
saw
though?
a. Oh, go ahead, Keegan.
I do love the Batman theme in that movie from Giacchino.
Yeah, Giacchino's great though, or
It's so
Giacchino,
sick.
Giacchino.
Okay,
I think
I
that's how
don't
you
know.
pronounce it.
He did
Anyway, go ahead.
the Werewolf by Night soundtrack, and that's like one of the first like original Marvel soundtracks that actually really stands out. It's like really cool. Like I can't remember a single Marvel soundtrack. Like if we don't count Gunn using pop songs, right? Just the OSTs. He's the first one where I'm like, oh, I want to listen to that later.
I like the Captain America theme a
Yeah.
lot.
Can't tell you a single note from it.
I like that. I
I
can't
mean, if we
remember the
want to go
Avengers
as
theme
far
right now.
back as like the pre-MCU stuff, there's, you know, the Spider-Man theme from Raimi's Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, that's
The-
Elfman. Like that. Those are always pretty memorable.
You know,
about
Elfman may be a predator,
Elfman
but
did-
goddamn, he can make some music.
he did do Age of Ultron, which is like so forgettable though.
Oh yeah.
So-
It really like it's either
hit and
you
miss.
remember it or you don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, Hans Zimmer is like that for me, where I think that
very
after a
boring.
certain point,
sometimes.
Zimmer did Dune, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're two very boring soundtracks.
Yes. You know, every single time
Dude.
everyone's like, Zimmer's back, you know, like he really got it with this one. I was like, I don't
It's
know.
crazy.
I don't know.
Dune 2 was the first time I actually had to wear earplugs in the theater. I
That
mean,
sounds like an old man thing more than it
oh
is a
yeah,
Hans
it is
Zimmer
an old
thing.
man thing. But I was like, if I was into this soundtrack, I probably wouldn't care. But I don't feel like
His
I'm
ears
missing
bleeding.
anything. Yeah.
It's not just the
funny.
soundtrack, but you're also trying to not hear Timothy Chalamet either.
If I could just not see Timothy Chalamet. Huh?
With the power of AI, we can actually remove Timothy Chalamet from every movie.
Now, Zimmer is, you know, I actually do want to hear that movie you mentioned, Serg, Babylon AD. Like, I do think Zimmer can do good stuff, but he really phones it in the, like recently. I just that entire Dune soundtrack just felt like blah blah. It's all it was to me.
You know, I think Nolan skipping Zimmer to work with Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer really opened my eyes to how much Zimmer had been holding back Nolan, like on a
Well,
like a larger scale.
they swapped guys, right? Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, whatever.
Oh,
I said-
Denis
I said-
Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve. Come
I
on.
don't care. I don't care. Stop making me horny with your French. Anyway,
Whoa!
they swapped guys, right?
Maybe I don't remember.
Because like,
Oh, I guess they did. Yeah,
Göransson was on Arrival, and that
yeah.
is incredible. It's so good. And then, yeah, I think he had. Well, but I think Zimmer was on. Was Zimmer on Blade Runner 2049?
I think no. I thought that was also Goranson, wasn't it?
Because that one's also really good, and I was about to say Zimmer was great on that, but I think I'm
Goranson
wrong.
also very crazy.
It's Hans Zimmer
Scar.
and a guy named Ben Wallfish.
Okay, shout out
Ben
Ben.
Wallfish. Yeah, shout out Ben. Goranson, I think. Oh, without Goranson, The Mandalorian, I just don't think would have hit as
Oh
hard.
yeah, Woo! Yeah. What a good
Yeah.
theme. That like core theme is so good. And especially that Western feeling of it is like, if only they had stuck to that in the actual show, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. What about
True.
musical films? Because that's the
Actually,
whole
that's a
point
good.
of these things, right? And we just recently had a very big movie. That
What movie are you gonna say?
I was gonna. Actually, I was talking about The End by Joshua Oppenheimer, which I don't think is out actually by the time this.
Like I was already laughing in anticipation for whatever thing you're gonna say.
Lan, I don't know what are you talking about? Like stage musicals?
No,
Like
like
adapted
musical
to film?
movies.
Like
Musical
adaptations,
movies.
probably. Right?
Well,
It
not
would be
just
an
adaptations.
adaptation.
Like think about
Like
Well,
Wicked?
it's not a musical.
a musical movie.
Most of them are adaptations, though, right? I guess
No,
like Singing
not
in the Rain
all of
isn't.
them.
I said most.
Not. I
I'm
mean,
the
so
last
confused.
Okay, La La Land is an
La
original.
La Land, right?
Okay, but like Wicked just came out.
yeah, Wicked is an adapt.
What is what's the Spielberg one that everybody
West Side
says
Story?
is really good? West Side Story. Okay,
Yeah.
that's an adaptation.
Sound of Music.
Okay, yeah, that's Monster. Is
Mamma
Mufasa,
Mia.
is
High School
is Mufasa
Musical.
gonna have
Hold
music?
on. I want to know what Lan was going to say. What was the really big one that came out recently?
It's Wicked.
Wicked.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
That's why I know I derailed all of that, but it was because it was so clearly he was setting us up for Wicked. And I thought it was so
I have
funny.
I have
He
not
didn't
seen
even-
Wicked. I can't
I
say
haven't
anything.
either. I just knew, and I was like, "What is he gonna say?" And I had already lost it. He already broke me before it could have even happened. It was so funny to me. Oh, this is just like the Lieber episode where I was crying about that stupid comic that no one liked.
Which one?
Oh, the one where he is trying to check out a book and he falls. He's like, "What does this happen to me?"
Oh yeah.
You know,
Rocket Man was the movie I was thinking about because I watched Rocket Man fairly recently. I think the only reason that movie works is because Taron Egerton is actually a really good singer. But musical films are, I don't know. I think there aren't many musical films that I actually do like, and it's not like because I don't like musicals. It's just, I think for me, I was conditioned for a very specific kind of musical, having grown up on Indian films. But I guess I can talk about Indian films on that note because like the whole thing with them, especially the big like blockbusters, is that they're all musicals, right? Like there are going to be musical segments in these movies. Actually, like I would say the majority of the music industry over there is tied to the film industry because songs are made for film soundtracks, which then they find their own radio play, their own life. Sometimes I'll hear like a song that my mom is playing and I'm like, oh, what movie is that from? Rather than what album is that from? So yeah, like the intertwining of music and film, I think is much like as an industrial complex. I think it's much more entwined over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What about you guys? What's your musical experience like?
I do like musicals. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
bet.
that isn't. Yeah, I feel like that's not surprising at all. I like musicals quite a bit. And it's weird to me because like such a cornerstone of like young kid movies are Disney movies, which are like all musicals.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody here is like, no, musicals suck. And I'm like, it's weird. It's like a core part of growing up, and maybe that is it. Maybe it's just like it's more childish and it's harder to take seriously, I guess. Like I'm gonna see Wicked on a discount Tuesday coming up, almost certainly. because I'm just like, I don't know. I like musicals. Like there's just not a ton of them anymore.
You raised a good point with the Disney movie side of it, because like the Disney movie is like the closest that the Western or specifically American industry can get to like that Indian, I guess it is a symbiosis, right? Where it's like a lot of these songs are made specifically for these movies, and they find their own life, like Let It Go, of course, is the really big one recently. I don't know, is there a bigger song that came out more recent than Let It Go?
I don't think so. Moana, well, Encanto was huge. Encanto actually might have gotten bigger than like, but I don't think, we don't talk about Bruno was bigger than Let It Go, but I think as a whole, I think more songs from Encanto got big.
The reason that I know Let It Go was the biggest song ever is I will still hear children singing it to themselves unprompted on the bus, in public, anywhere. Kids will just sing that movie song, Let It Go.
Wow.
Yeah. My many clan of nieces and nephews.
Because that clan with the C?
To be determined. They just moved to Oklahoma, so one of them's very brown, so probably not her.
Okay.
But the others we'll see. Like they never had a Frozen one. My oldest niece did, but even she got consumed by Encanto. But like, yeah, I think it reverted back to Let It Go, probably. Huge, just ridiculous. And now there's adults who grew up on Frozen to some degree, so it'll never be gone.
I think the one Disney soundtrack that's stuck with me is The Lion King, because I was a huge Lion King kid.
Yeah.
You know, like looking back at all the Disney movies, and like, yeah, The Lion King is the movie. You know, like it.
I mean, I think Nightmare Before Christmas is one of those ones too. Like it's not a true musical, but it's like there. I mean, as far as Let It Go goes, I hear kids that don't speak English out here in Paris singing Let It Go in English.
Damn.
And it's like, so like, you know, like it is like a level of something I think that, you know, isn't fully appreciated. Cause that's always like a big indicator to me. Like, you know, my wife's family's from South America, and, you know, I'm out in France. So like when you meet people who aren't even in the US, or like the US, the quote unquote West, like knowing these things and like being fans of these things, it's like, okay, you know, it hits different.
Yeah, it's the cultural cachet of it.
Different level.
Yeah. As far
what
as
does this say
musicals
about
go,
colonialism?
yeah, in this essay, as far as musicals, I mean, I'm always familiar with musicals, so I like know a bunch of them. I don't really like a lot of musicals. I mean, I'm trying to think. I saw Newsies live. That really changed my perspective on it. Musicals in general. Yeah.
Yeah,
in New York.
I think that's the funny thing is like the theater part of it is key to a lot of musicals. And I think like if you're willing to suspend your disbelief and like believe there's a whole world on the stage, then people singing their feelings is less silly versus like, oh, we have all these elaborate sets and it's just like normal people in their day-to-day lives, like dancing and singing is a little bit different. But like at the same time, you know, like Lan, you were talking about the like musical, the way musicals are popular in India, and so it feels more like a Western imagination problem or something. I don't know.
Skill issue.
Yeah, genuinely. Like, try harder. I don't know.
No, it would be a skill issue. I seriously agree. Like you've got the precedent, right, in India and other countries where it's more popular to interject a song into the movie, and it's natural that they're ready to do it. They're ready to go full on for that dance number, and that's what matters. And here it's like no one can really escape that realism. Like they feel like everything has to be justified. And I don't think that's how it always was here. Like someone mentioned Singing in the Rain, like that era of musicals had that style of magic. They're just ready to go wild. But now it's like, oh, everything has to be diegetic or has to be like wink and a nod, like it's more sincere in like India, for example.
I think it's an element of humility, right? Like the fact that it's like, we are doing this and you don't, we're not embarrassed to be doing this. And perhaps, again, in this essay, that is like a post 9/11 thing where in the post 9/11 attempt to like, the ideal of beauty and the ideal of like the American, spirit, whatever, like part of that is that we're too good for musicals, like we don't need to be humiliating ourselves.
What are we, French?
Yeah. What is this, some kind of French humiliation ritual? What are we, a bunch of Indians?
You know what, this conversation just kind of apexed into did anybody watch Joker 2?
Oh, yes,
Absolutely
I did.
Not.
Oh, that is like the most. That is the most embarrassed I've seen a movie be at like what it is.
I think this ties into a point I was going to make, actually, also of Indian cinema versus American cinema. Their actors are expected to know and do these things and like trained to do these things, right? Like they come out knowing how to dance and sing. I mean, like. Well, frankly, there's not a lot of actors that can dance and sing in the U.S. like theater caliber. I mean, theater caliber though.
Not shown that, right? Well, but like, Ryan Gosling, right? Ryan Gosling is like a AAA actor, like by far.
Yeah, but Ryan Gosling was bred. He's bred from childhood. Like,
he's factory manufactured.
It's like Yao Ming,
But like, Like,
no, but I mean, like.
If you dug deeper though, and you actually looked at these guys, most of them did dance and sing because that was an expectation for actors. Yeah, and I think it still is to a degree. Right?
I mean, but like what I'm talking about is like Anna Kendrick, like, is a good example of like, she can sing and she can dance. She's not a theater actor. She's not someone who can like perform like as a musical person can on stage. So when you listen to like her perform a musical level versus like someone who actually did the musical on Broadway, it's like night and day. And I think that's the problem sometimes with like filming musicals is like you want the name power, but a lot of those actors don't have like what makes a musical pop on stage or on Tonys and win Tonys and stuff. I mean, Ariana Grande is a good example of someone that can do both, like, because she has performed on stage like that. So
I think that I think we just don't know. Personally, I guess I'll just say I think I just don't know what actors can or can't do that because they don't. And I don't think that's
I mean, to be fair, they're doing other roles too, right? They're doing other roles. So it's not like they're like practicing singing every day in, day out. It's whereas like someone on theater, that's their life. But you do have some actors, right? Like you do have like Neil Patrick Harris is a good example of someone who can do both. But like, like then again, you also have like Les Miserables and like, where like, even Hugh Jackman, who can sing and dance, is like the only one on stage. You got Anne Hathaway and I forgot who the other guy was.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. It's just like, woo. This is not the same caliber as when you put on like the Broadway soundtrack.
I mean, that goes back to the musical thing where like Keigen, you mentioned West Side Story, right? And like I'm pretty sure Ansel Elgort has never sung, or at least like
he was not good. Like people who will defend him in that movie too. It's like you're defending Spielberg, and that's fine. Like defend my boy. I love him. Whatever. He's a genius.
Ansel Elgort's your boy?
Sucked, no, Steven Spielberg. Different Zionist. Okay, he's a Zionist, not a pedophile. Two different things.
Yeah. There's a line to draw.
A very thin one.
I mean, like, even
oh no! Wait, you're telling me Ansel Elgort's a Zionist? Ah,
and a pedophile. Who could have seen that coming?
I was a big fan of his pedophilia, but
I mean, like, but even Rachel Ziegler, who's like been in musicals, right? Like that's a good example, right? Of someone who's like she can carry it. Again, if you're getting someone on Broadway, it's the best of the best, right? So it's like there's levels.
like
I'm not saying like they're not talented. It's like, like watching, I don't know, top basketball players, versus like LeBron or something like that. They might not be as good as LeBron. They're still way better than me,
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And like I think part of that too is like the theater musical industry has continued to shrink. And so, you like talk about basketball, there's like you could name the 30 best point guards off stats pretty easily, right? And they're probably not evenly distributed or whatever, but whatever. And then like the beneath the 100 are like who's ending up in movies, because it's like they have some talent, but they're not people who can do that, or they want more money too, is the other half of that, right? Because like there's no way they're making the same as
I mean, even
whatever.
like Lin-Manuel Miranda, like people have said, he's not the like most powerful singer, right? He does all the other stuff very well too, though. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like a package deal for him versus like, no one's going, oh wow, he's the best singer in Broadway, even though he might be one of the most recognizable names right now.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy.
Look, that pen's fire. I don't care.
What is
that pen? Not penis. Two different things.
That pen is fire.
A lot of letters there. There's one very important space, though.
A lot of spaces, Any other soundtracks that come to mind that we want to bring up before we wrap things up?
Yo, the Rugrats movie soundtrack is the weirdest soundtrack. Have you guys seen who's on that?
I've seen the like first movie, right? Like the original
first movie. Yeah,
the one where they go to
1998
Paris?
one. Yeah, where Blackstreet, Maya, who else is on it? Busta Rhymes on there, no doubt, Elvis Costello. Yeah, it's like, like when you look at all the names on there,
it really is the who's who of.
It's the most bizarre soundtrack, and I just have to give it a shout out because I don't think any other soundtrack will ever come so close as being so bizarre for a movie.
Well, you have to realize that the soundtrack, the composer on the movie was Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo.
Yeah.
Doing a Nickelodeon movie. Yeah. And
it's like, it's so amazing how hard that soundtrack goes for being like a kid's movie and just like who they pulled in just for like, a thing they could have phoned in. And in some ways it kind of did, in other ways too. So it's like super bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor came through to do the TMNT soundtrack last year, right? Like there was no reason for them to do it, right? Like these are the guys that composed Challengers, right? But they're also the guys that composed Mutant Mayhem starring Post Malone.
Starring Post Malone.
No one else. Not the voice of Gumball. Just Post Malone.
Just Post Malone.
Yeah.
I feel like we succeeded in not mentioning Edgar Wright up to this point, and it's fine. We don't have to. But like that's a weird.
Oh, one more. How do y'all feel about Wes Anderson soundtracks?
Oh,
quirky. Twee, quirky.
I feel like there was an era when people stood by them, and now everyone's just kind of like, yeah, they're there.
I mean, him and James Gunn are two sides of the same coin. I don't even mean that as a sick burn. Like they really do just utilize their soundtracks in the same way.
Yeah, their iPod playlists.
Yeah. That's perfect.
I think with Wes Anderson's movies, it really is like, because everyone talks about the Wes Anderson aesthetic, but they always talk about the visual aesthetic. But I think the Wes Anderson aesthetic is also an audio thing. Like it's an audio visual aesthetic, where if you don't have one, it just doesn't feel like, it feels like a very poor parody. Like I think the best Wes Anderson parodies are ones that take
with
the audio into account too. But
you know what's funny, the thinking about the Wes Anderson soundtracks, like in that greater context, it really is like, yeah, I might look like a sensitive white boy, but I listen to hip hop too.
I listen to hip hop done by a 50-year-old Frenchman playing an accordion.
Yeah, I listen to Stromae. How do you know? How did you know I listened to Stromae? All right, I think that's the episode, fellas.
Yeah.
Before we do our tastemakers grab bag, though, I gotta go through a little spiel here, because as always, the show is made possible thanks to contributions from listeners like you. If you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals. Give us more money to do stuff like this. I think having more money will also help us, help motivate us to figure out what we're doing after this off season. So you can do that. Again, $2 gets you episodes a week earlier than the public. $5 a month gets you not only that, but our entire backlog of bonus episodes. We've got some good bonus episodes for you to listen to. I don't know if we put out another one by the time this episode comes out, but we did one, me and Salt, on Alien Romulus that I think was pretty good. But yeah, patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals. You can also support us through morale. You can give us a good review on your podcast app of choice. It helps get the word out there that we're doing this. Tell your friends, tell your frenemies, tell your family.
Your chosen family.
Your chosen family, your found family. Questions, comments, suggestions for the show, you can email us at midnightgrappleranimals@gmail.com. And if you want to find the links to our Discord server, our Patreon, as well as our Bluesky pages, you can find that all in the description of this episode. All right, Tastemakers grab bag. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
I
was going to say, don't everyone go all at once.
You old.
I was going to say, don't everyone go all at once, and then you all went at once.
No, all of us go at the same time.
And then I just got to piece it together in post-processing.
Lad will fix it in post. It's fine.
Okay, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
I've been... My new hyperfixation is the Three Musketeers.
In general, or
yeah, just in general. I've watched 3 movie adaptations, and now I'm stopping to read the original Dumas book. Then I'll go back and watch all the other ones. They're awesome. It's great.
Yeah. They're so good. Yeah.
Which ones have you seen?
I saw the one with what's his name? Charlie Sheen, obviously.
Yes, that's a really good one.
Film. Yeah. The one with the most recent movie. I haven't seen the one with Mia Jovovich.
That's the Paul W.S. Anderson one.
Yeah, it's super bizarre. There's
rocks.
a BBC show that's like also kind of insane but cool. I haven't seen. There's a new one that came out in France. It's like a trilogy. It's like them
I'm
trying
going to watch
like
those
battle
after I
the
read
MCU.
the book. Yeah.
And I've read all 3 books.
Oh shit.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So we can talk.
Oh yeah, tight. Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I think it in short, it's one of the archetypal stories you need to understand modern action, modern superheroes. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's it from me.
That's fun. Mine is something that was a Kickstarter, so I don't even know if anybody can get it. But this gorgeous, beautiful hardcover of Sleepless just got here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I love that. The book is so good. Just like this like romance knights and stuff, princesses, blah blah blah, whatever. Sounds really kind of like, even when they were announcing it, it was just kind of like, this seems really really simple, and it kind of is. But Leila Del Duca is the artist, and it just looks amazing, and the vibe of the whole thing is really good. So if there is a different way to pick up Sleepless, check it out. It's so good. And it's not very old, so it should still be accessible. But they, like I said, they did a really cool hardcover on Kickstarter, and so I'm excited to have this nice edition of that book.
Nice.
I'm reading another mystery. It's a Brazilian one called Hotel Brasil. The Mystery of the Severed Heads. It's by a famous liberation theology priest, a Dominican friar, named Fray Beto. It's really bizarre and dark and funny in a lot of ways I didn't expect, considering it's written by a priest. Yeah, so that's gonna be my recommendation. It's like the first page just talks about like a guy vomiting because he saw a severed head, and I was like, oh, okay, so we're just getting into this. So this is gonna be my recommendation. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
All right. I am gonna recommend 3 video games because I recently finished the first 3 Insomniac Spider-Man games. I played them all in rapid succession of each other.
Nice.
Not a good move, actually. You know, I think you should space them out.
Yeah, that's fair.
just a word of advice. But I played Spider-Man 2 for the first time this time. And I am glad that I managed to go unspoiled on everything except for Miles's ugly ass endgame suit for a year. Because some of these...
Were you unspoiled about his Killmonger haircut?
No. That was one of the things.
You did not see that meme? Yeah.
I did see that. I did see the hair. I knew what Harry looked like. I think I actually made some jokes about like Harry looking like a Neville from iCarly. Poor boy. But they were good. It was good. It was a good experience. I think I was just a bit too tired by the side content by the time I got to Spider-Man 2, so maybe I'll give it like a year before I go back to do a new game plus to give that stuff another shot. But you know what? Generally, really good. Insomniac's like one of the few developers that actually knows how to make use of the PS5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's literally just them and Team Asobi. Like those are the only 2 developers that are working.
The taking photo quests were so much fun because of the PS5 controller. And how goofy that was.
Yeah.
Like take a picture of this. It was just like, okay, this is kind of fun.
I mean, there was the one mission in there. I'm not to spoil it, but there's a mission in Spider-Man 2 where it uses the portal technology from Rift Apart, the Ratchet and Clank game. But like the difference is the Ratchet and Clank game had like a little bit of loading in between sections, but like this one was like clean transition from like one area to the next, and it showcases a real mastery on Insomniac's part to like, oh yeah, they really managed to work some black magic with the tech side of thing. Again, very technologically impressive video game. So yeah, that's my recommendation. And I guess with that, thank you for sticking around for another off-season episode. Let us know. Are you liking these off-season episodes? Is this what you actually want out of Midnight Grappler Animals? What do you want out of Midnight Grappler Animals? Let us know in the comments on our social media pages, in our Discord. And as always,
keep on grappling.
Keep on grappling.
Perfect as always. It was crazy because like
good.
two of you got it on time. You know,
it's the white boys. I'm sorry, it's that white boy sync. We can't.
See, this is why America's fallen behind in the musicals. You know, can't even hit your beat.
They got no rhythm.
As soon as Beastie Boys started dropping, as soon as we lost any of our Beastie Boys, this happened.
We've lost the recipes.
Ever since the dominant white rap group went from being the Beastie Boys to epic rap battles of history, you know, that's when.
Damn.
You know, when Macklemore apologized to Kendrick Lamar for winning an award over him, that's when it was over.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Wait, what? I didn't know.
Did you not know about that? Oh my
That's
god!
awesome.
Yeah, he sent him a text saying like, "Man, you should have won that award." But then he also posted the apology on social media, so it was like levels of corny. It was so good.
Macklemore, I can't believe. It's hard to believe somebody like him exists. You know, like
the redemption arc in the past year. You know, I think is.
I can't believe he's been the most outspoken pro-Palestine like
rapper.
New rapper. Just like
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
defies logic.
It's proof that you can be corny and on the side of good, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like Imagine Dragons showing up to the strikes. You know, last year. Some might call it an anti-strike action, but you know, I'm sure they were there in good spirit.